He is the president. I don't deny that. But he's already done spectacular damage to my beloved country. I now continue with his remarks at signing from the White House an executive order on racial equity. One of the reasons I'm so optimistic about this nation is that today's generation of young Americans is the most progressive, thoughtful, inclusive generation that America has ever seen. Well, thoughtful, that's a toughie. And they are pulling us toward justice in so many ways, forcing us to confront the huge gap in economic inequity. I'm reading as it's written. Between those at the top and everyone else, forcing us to confront the existential crisis of climate, and yes, forcing us to confront systemic racism and white supremacy. Almost every talk he uses the words white supremacy. This is a gigantic lie of the left, that white supremacy is a danger in this country. Do any of you know a white supremacist? I mean, other than Sean, I don't know one. Just the other day, he walked in, he goes, whites are supreme. He was talking about egg whites, but it doesn't matter. His very preference for egg whites is suspect. There's no question. And now, as I return to Earth, do any of you know a white supremacist? Is there anyone? Let me explain white supremacy. Why it's almost impossible to be a white supremacist if you give it any thought. So let's say in my case, now I have not been charged with white supremacy, I will admit. Bigotry, yes. Let's see, sexist, intolerant, xenophobic, homophobic, racist, bigoted, yeah. But I'm not white supremacist. But let's say I were. So here's one clear reason why it would be unlikely. Were the Nazis white? Yes. So how can you be a white supremacist? Now you could say, well, you could be Nazi. Okay, but I'm a Jew, so A, they wouldn't have allowed me in the club. B, I would have been dead. But other than that, it's powerful rhetoric. But how about this? What color were the communists in Europe? What color was Stalin? What color was Lenin? What color was Trotsky? What color were all the communist leaders of Eastern Europe? White. They were all white. So the notion of white supremacy is a self-contradictory notion because there are gigantic numbers of whites who have done evil to whites. Who do you think Stalin sent to the Gulag? Blacks? White supremacist. For the President of the United States to regularly talk about white supremacy means he lies in a much more serious manner than his predecessor.